What are you hesitant to ask me and why? Took it there. Took it there.
I am hesitant to ask you if you still love me the same.
I do. I do.
What lets you know you still love me the same?
When we ended.
You're gonna bring them over here.
I
said you're gonna bring those over here.
Yeah, when we ended.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Ask the other person to recite and fill in the blanks. My biggest fear about us is blank because blank.
Matter of fact, this was before we ended our relationship. My biggest fear about us was ending the relationship because I thought I was gonna lose my friend. You know, like holding on to, even, when we went through all of that month, we went through, like, I think it was like July, we went through that, and it was just like, I know it has to come to an end because there's some shit that's going on with me right now that I have to figure out. But at the same time, I was just like, shit, I do want to hold strong onto the relationship, because I wanted to just be with my friend. But at the same time, keeping the relationship, I was losing my friend.
You lost your friend.
Yeah.
You lost me as a friend. Toward that end, especially after my cousin was murdered.
Yeah.
I did not feel like I had my friend. Friends are going to make sure you're good.
Yeah.
Did you eat? Did you, or just even what was normed for us. So I felt like you did lose me as a friend. And I felt I had already lost you as a friend. We weren't laughing as much.
Yeah.
And things were kind of getting forced. And that's not what we do. There's like a synergy
Yeah.
that even if we're like, okay, let's be serious, or okay, we're just going to do this. Like, it's always going to be something else. And that wasn't there.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I got my friend.
Yeah. Same.
For sure.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was going back to, when your cousin was murdered? Because I think about that often. What was, in that moment, like, what was something that you really needed, from me?
Presence.
Presence.
I think that would have helped. It felt lonely because I knew I didn't have family to go to. Or I felt, I can't say I knew. I felt I didn't have family to go to. And when it came to you, I was telling you I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you I'm not sleeping. I'm telling you I can't turn lights off. Presence. Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
How much of our past do we still carry? And
they hitting us with these questions, huh?
How do you feel that is affecting our relationship?
Oh, man.
Damn, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
You want me to reread it?
Yeah, reread it one more time, please. Thank you.
How much of our past do we still carry? And how do you feel that is affecting our relationship?
Man. Carry a lot from my past. I mean, everybody do. But I think it's just up to that individual, that person, to put in that self-work, to unlearn all of that shit, and how it affected our relationship, I was, like I saw, like in some ways, I saw my mother
in me.
Yeah, in you. In ways, growing up, I was very dependent. So, with you always being that individual, that person to be like, okay, we're going through some conflict right now. How can we resolve something right now? How can we, you was the one always putting your foot forward, and I wasn't doing that.
I want to answer that as well. And I felt like I carried a lot of my past. So just thinking of Bianca's past, I carried a lot of, I'm going to be alone. So when you talk about you being dependent, I'm always going to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm always going to make sure I'm okay. And it was more of like, oh, I have some for you too.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, I can leave this garden and we can start our own together.
Yeah.
It was more of like, oh no, you can come in.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that caused hindrances that were not acknowledged. So when I hear you say, I wasn't doing that, there were times, but that's not my experience. That wasn't what our relationship was. But I can honestly sit here and look at you and be vulnerable and say, I had, a yardstick, like, okay, you gotta, because I fear not being able to take care of myself. I was raised and saw a woman take care of a man, and there was no benefit to that because it left her how it left her.
Yeah.
So I never want to be my mother or be with my father.
Yeah.
And that has shaped me. And you got the blunt of that. Didn't realize it, right? Because there was so much, there was so much in my cup that you got overflow.
Yeah.
But when I say the blunt of my trauma, it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a mouthful right there.
That was, right?
What do you think I need to hear most from you and why?
I think you need to hear that you are worthy, that you are loving, that you are deserving, that you are human, that you are trying, that you are a man, whatever that may be for you, that you are healing, you are growing, you are not your past, you are not your parents, you are not what society puts on you, you are not a stereotype, you can love, your journey is purposeful. I think you need to hear those things because even though we're not together, I know I assume your spaces are not as safe as what we were allowed to create in our relationship. And even when you're telling me about people that like, oh, my homeboy or this and that, even some of the things you say, I'm like, that doesn't really align with you.
It does.
And where you want to go.
Yeah.
And so I just think you need reminders that you are enough.
Yeah.
You got this shit. You may be a little bit more slow to get there, but you got this shit. And if you truly believe that, some of the things you share would be differently. Some of the spaces you're in, you wouldn't be in. You'll be spending more time nurturing your garden, and less time trying to get people to see that you're nurturing your garden. You would just be tending to it.
Yeah.
And it will speak for itself. So I think you needed those words of affirmation. You needed a reminder.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What is the pain in me you wish you could heal, and why?
Ooh, good question.
You need me to reread it?
Nah. Your childhood trauma.
Damn, had that one loaded.
Pow, it was in the clip. Shot from the hip.
Okay.
Yeah, your childhood trauma.
Why?
Why? Because you were always in survival mode.
I'm gonna sit with that.
Always in survival mode. Want to let that sit for a little bit?
It sucks to hear someone else say that. Which I thank you. Because I don't always know how I come off to other people. And of course, I know I'm in survival mode. That's why I do so much work. And I feel like I am experiencing first generation healing. Because I didn't have parents that, you know what I mean, that did this or even thought this far but that sucked to just sit here and hear that from you, somebody who knows a little bit more. We've never talked about that. It's more if that's what I process on my own and keep it moving. That sucked. Thank you for saying that statement that sucked.
If we had a crystal ball that told us the absolute truth about our relationship, what would you never ask it?
I will never ask it, will we be partners again? I am comfortable walking the unknown. It's a little strange, right? And people like to put things in boxes and categories because that helps us make sense of the world. Even my aunt made the joke, and I told her, like, oh, we're going to do the and. She was like, y'all do more stuff as exes than y'all was doing in a relationship. And I was like, okay, but we're going to do the and. You know, like, I can't do anything with that information, but okay. So I wouldn't want to ask it that because I feel like what this is, it's not for the end goal. So even when I'm telling people like, oh, I talked to Zach, or you may text and I laugh and they're like, oh, so you think it's, and I'm like, I don't know. And I'm okay with that. How have I changed you?
We know that call. Man, you changed me for the better.
How?
To not dim my light anymore. To not be afraid. You know, to not be afraid to stand up for others. You know, not to be afraid to support others. You know, to even though if I don't know, I'm going to show that support. If you know this person is attacking such and such, you know, you open my mind up to see people for who they are.
Okay. Like that. I know the question was for me, but I do want to share because I think a lot of times it's, oh, I give you credit for that, or oh, you did this, or you know, even when you like people like that's not realistic, or people like you're a unicorn. I do want you to know that I felt our relationship and my partnership with you showed me that I'm greater than my trauma. Because before you, it was a pattern. It was a pattern. But you showed me that I'm capable of loving and that I am lovable and that I am so much greater than.
Because you are.
Trauma.
Because you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If this was our last conversation, what would you never want me to forget?
Shit, man, our laughs. Like our laughs were weird, like genuine. Like, our laughs. I don't want you like to forget those. Like I find my moments when I be on the road just driving and I just bust out laughing. Just because of a random memory. Like, oh, I remember this spot that we were at. Oh, I remember when she had me deboed.
It's crescendo, cuz. Crescendo.
When she had me deboed. Just our laughs and our time.
Okay. I would like to answer that question if you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
If this was our last conversation, what would I never want you to forget? That you are enough. Period.
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 Can I add one more thing?
Okay.
And you are more than deserving of love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Namaste.
If you enjoyed that conversation at the end, visit theskindeep.com/shop, where you'll find more of our products to create the space to explore the relationships that are most important to you.